What up, everyone? This is a Christ plug here. Now, originally, I was gonna make a video with gameplay to kind of drive home a narrative, plus I'm tired of showing my face, and of course, I chose the hardest freaking game that I could have chosen to actually record. So I'm like, oh fuck. Ah. I just got back from PlayStation trying to record gameplay to kind of drive home a narrative. But I guess I'm going to have to stop for a second, stop using my own creative way of telling truth. Oh, that was a pain. It was a pain. But then again, it's of God, so and I'm looking back on it, it's like it's of God, so like anyways, yeah. So there are people in the body of Christ that I have been there are people in the body of Christ that I have been getting a feeling from. I've been getting a um vibe from. People say, and people in the members in the body of Christ say that the things of this earth will be passing away, and I 100% agree with that. Don't disagree with that. As a matter of fact, I am 100% in line with that. But as I was saying in that video, I was trying to record. I'm sorry that I've been stuck on that, but I'm off that now. Oh, my back. Sorry about that. As you know, my neck, or as you know, my back, as you know, my back is kind of fucked up. Kind of bulging disc, arthritis. And now it's affecting my neck. So what the hell? I know it's a trial, but like there were times where I was afraid I was gonna die because of it. Not necessarily die, but like really end up fucked up or something because of this. Didn't want to twist the wrong way, didn't want to move the wrong way, etc. But I digress. So, there are people that, as I was saying, there are people, members in the body of Christ that say things will be passing away. I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. But they take it and they run with it. They don't necessarily look beyond that. Now, I'm not saying every single member in the body of Christ is like this. But I am saying that every single body of the Christ, every single member of the body of Christ is like this. Now, I'm not saying it in the way you think. There's a reason why I kind of did the kind of catch-22 saying here. Yes, members in the body of Christ are all like this in a sense of like, when they say things that the earth will be passing away, they tend to, they all tend to take ideas and run with it. Not necessarily all of them in that aspect. But what I'm trying to say is all members in the body of Christ are stuck and they take things and they run with them in many different categories. Not just the one I'm going to be talking about today. And I'm just saying, like, not all of them do, but like most of us do. Whether it be the snatching away, whether it be revelation, whether it be what's good for us, what's bad for us. The very thing I'm talking about now. It's like we take things and we run with them. That can be very, very bad for us. It's like it's all's allowed us, but all's not expedient. This is by far the worst way to go. Well, one of the worst ways to go. Taking things and running with them. Now, why am I talking about the things of this earth? Some members in the body of Christ may think I'm worldly because I do worldly things. I play worldly games. Well, I play. I don't play worldly games. The whole fucking console is worldly because it's like a PlayStation. It's made by the world. Like Martin Zender said, the people of the world make the shit. People of the world make the computer that you guys film and make videos on. People make things that we use every day. Hell, some people even like make the food that we buy from the grocery store. But I digress. Of course, it's made by them. And yes, people have told me some members in the body of Christ may have told me I'm worldly. Some of them may have insinuated I'm worldly, but I'm not. So, let me just say that the reason why I'm talking about the things of this earth and why people think I'm worldly is because like this, right? I am not worldly. I'm just trying to think of a broader perspective. I was talking to a brother, Braden Smith. He brought up the very thing I'm first. He kind of did the very thing I was frustrated with, being a little bit short-sighted. And I said something. Right when we were talking on the phone, I said something that kind of surprised him and that kind of surprised me. And I said, why do members in the body of Christ? That was my phone. Let me know some shit. But I said, why do members in the body of Christ tend to limit God? And he said, excuse me, what do you say? And at first I thought he was offended. Really, I don't. Really, I do care if I offend members in the body of Christ, unlike regular people. I mean, I do care if I offend them, but it's like less. Well, my point is, I said that boldly because I'm tired of like some problems in the body of Christ. We aren't really, and I'm not trying to divide us. And as a matter of fact, this is a protest against division. So, let me just say this, right? When we say that the things that are going to be passing away, like sex or entertainment or anything like that, and we don't say anything else, and like after we quote the scriptures that hint at this, and we don't say unquote, then we go on to say the next thing. When we take an idea, basically in layman's terms, when we take an idea and run with it, we are in some way limiting God. And so in some way, shape, or form, we're limiting God. We're like, oh, we're getting snatched what? Oh, guess no more movies, guess no more music, guess no more games, guess no more fun, guess no more da da da. And I am all for responsibility. Like, I'm all for what we are going to do in the Celestials. I really am. But, excuse me, my allergies are fucking up too. But anyways, I digress. But, when we are thinking of like, but here's the thing. If you like music and you're expecting music and expecting to hear some good tunes, some good tracks, some good beats and everything and all that in the Celestials, if you're expecting that, throw that expectation out the window because you said that that thing's passing away. You're expecting to swim in a swimming pool. You're expecting to take a swim somewhere, anywhere. Throw it out the window because the swimming pool's passing away. Throw the ocean out the window. Throw your lake out the window because it's going to be passing away. Why am I saying this? Because if you're expecting something, right? If it's in your heart to expect something, then you're supposed to expect it. And it may not, like, me and Braden were talking about this further down the conversation. We were talking about how some people in the body of Christ, some members in the body of Christ, have different desires of their hearts. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Terribly sorry, but like we all have desires of our hearts, and we all have like different things like in us to want, to need, to etc. Right? So what do we do? We expect it. Now, and another thing that we and like my expectation may not be your expectation as an individual. Your expectation may not be my expectation as an individual. But I'm not saying that I but I'm not saying what I'm not saying is this. That forget the couple seconds I just said what I'm not saying and what I'm saying. I'm kind of jumbled up right now because I have a lot on my mind, a lot to do, a lot to say. I have a lot on my plate, okay? So, basically, we all have the same expectation as a collective, as the body of Christ. There we go again on my neck. But anyways, but as individuals, we have different expectations. It's all different as individuals, but as a body, it's all collective. So yeah, um, that's one thing. And another thing about this world, like, if you like cigarettes, if you like the things of this world, and we use it, but we don't use it up. That's a scriptural verse. Another thing we do, we're in this world, but not of it. That's a scriptural verse. But the one verse that touches on this the most, that really supports this whole fucking video, you meant it for evil, I meant it for good. Is that's a paraphrase, but what he actually said was, I meant it for good, but you meant it for evil. I bet you, I essentially said this twice. I essentially said it twice. Now, the things in this world, this mic that I'm not using, um, this phone, these things God has made. Technically, like we like to say that God created everything, which He did. He totally did. In a way, He created this phone, which is kind of what Braden said, which I was like, damn, Braden, you are smart. Like, really. And that's exactly my thought as well. He wasn't the only one to think this. I was too. I just needed it confirmed. God technically made this phone. God technically made this mic. Martin Zinner himself said that technology was made for us. Us to talk, to spread truth, to talk about the truth. But what does most of the world do? They use it for evil. China has bought TikTok, which is, guess what, on your phone. The very thing we speak into could be spoken into to spread lies, as most churches do. The PlayStation could be jailbroken for piracy, or jailbroken for any other illegal things. That is an evil act for something that God meant for good. And again, evil means to break. Evil means to, in my interpretation, I was using Martin's interpretation, but in my interpretation, evil is to basically break. I don't know what else to say. I was gonna say some like other stuff, but yeah, disrupting the balance wouldn't be a perfect interpretation. It wouldn't be a good interpretation because even disrupting the balance, like, is it is an evil, but like it's not to break. Oh yes, it is. I'm confused. Like I said, I got a lot on my plate, but that doesn't mean the whole of this video is confusing, or it may be. But I don't mean it to be confusing. But yes, let me just tell you that my individual expectation is different than yours. But my expectation is the same as yours as me being a byproduct fuck a byproduct of me being a member in the body of Christ is to have the same expectation as you. But it's also to have an individual expectation different from you, and vice versa. So this has been Christ Plug explaining just why technology is not all that bad in the hands of God and from the mind of God. So grace and peace. See y'all later, and this may be a part 2 when my mind's all together. So grace and peace.